Sir Raphael here from North London Ulysses. We're going to continue reading Sirens. Last time we got up to page 227 if you're in the Gifford publication of Ulysses. If you're in the Penguin, as we read, we tend to use in the pub, we're on page 356. Simon Dedalus has just sung Mapari from the opera Martha, and he sung it pretty well. He's got quite a nice voice, as Simon. Bloom remarked on that, how he could have made a decent living from being a singer had he not flushed everything down into the bottom of beer and whiskey glasses and the betting shops. So now we're going to read the second half of Sirens. There's more songs to come, one in particular, the Croppy Boy, and after the reading video we'll talk about that. And that's really, I don't know, can we say that's the fulcrum of the episode? It's certainly a major part of it. And right, so I've given you the page numbers in the Penguin and the Gifford. If you're Project Gutenberging it online, then the words you'll need to search for are Blazes Boylan's smart tan shoes creaked on the bar floor, said before. So that is where I will start, and I'm going to get on with it now. Blazes Boylan's smart tan shoes creaked on the bar floor, said before. Jingle by monuments of Sir John Gray, Horatio One-Handled Nelson, Reverend Father Theobald Matthew, jaunted, as said before, just now. A trot in heat, heat seated, cloche, sonne-la, cloche, sonne-la. Slower, the mare went up the hill by the rotunda, Rutland Square. Too slow for Boylan, Blazes Boylan, impatience Boylan joggled the mare. An afterclang of Cowley's chords closed, died on the air, made richer. And Richie Goulding drank his power, and Leopold Bloom his cider drank. Lidwell his Guinness. Second gentleman said they would partake of 2 tankards if she did not mind. Miss Kennedy smirked, deserving coral lips at first, at second. She did not mind. 7 days in jail, Ben Dollard said. On bread and water, then you'd sing, Simon, like a garden thrush. Lionel Simon Singer laughed. Father Bob Cowley played, Minor Kennedy served. Second gentleman paid. Tom Kernan strutted in. Lydia admired. But Bloom sang dumb. Admiring. Richie, admiring, descanted on that man's glorious voice. He remembered one night long ago, I'll never forget that night, so I sang 'Twas rank and fame, in Ned Lambert's 'twas. Good God, he never heard in all his life a note like that, he never did. Then, at false one we had better part, so clear, so God, he never heard since love lives, not a clinking voice. Ask Lambert, he can tell you too. Goulding, a flush struggling in his pale, told Mr. Bloom, face of the night, sigh, in Ned Lambert's Dedalus house, sang 'Twas rank and fame. He, Mr. Bloom, listened, while he, Richie Goulding, told him, Mr. Bloom, of the night he, Richie, heard him, Cy Dedalus, sing 'Twas rank and fame in his, Ned Lambert's house. Brothers-in-law, relations. We never speak as we pass by. Rift in the lute, I think. Treats him with scorn. See, he admires him all the more. The night Cy sang, the human voice, 2 tiny silky chords. Wonderful, more than all the others. The voice was a lamentation. Carminel, it's in the silence you feel you hear. Vibrations. Now, silent air. Bloom unjibed his crisscrossed hands and with slack fingers plucked the slender catgut thong. He drew and plucked. It buzzed. It twanged. While Goulding talked of Barraclough's voice production, while Tom Kernan, harking back in a retrospective sort of arrangement, talked to listening Father Cowley, who played a voluntary, who nodded as he played, while Big Ben Dollard talked with Simon Dedalus lighting, who nodded as he smoked, who smoked. Thou lost one, all songs on that theme. Yet more, Bloom stretched his string. Cruel it seems. Let people get fond of each other, lure them on, then tear asunder. Death, explode, knock on the head. Out of the hell of all that. Human life, dignum, that rat's tail wriggling. 5 bob I gave, corpus paradisum. Corn crake croaker, belly like a poisoned pup. Gone. They sing, forgotten. I too. One day she with leave her, get tired, suffer then. Snivel, big Spanishy eyes goggling at nothing. Her wavy, avy, heavy, 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 heavy hair uncombed. Yet too much happy bores. He stretched more, and you're not happy in you. Twang, it snapped. Jingle into Dorset Street. Miss Douce withdrew her satiny arm, reproachful, pleased. I don't make half so free, she said, till we're better acquainted. George Lidwell told her really and truly, but she did not believe. First gentleman told Minor that was so. She asked him, was that so? And second tankard told her so, that was so. Miss Douce, Miss Lydia did not believe. Miss Kennedy Minor did not believe. George Lidwell, no. Miss did not. The first gent with the tank, believe, no, did not. Miss Lydia Dywell, the tank. I better write it here. Quills in the post office chewed and twisted. Bald Pat at a sign drew nigh. A pen and ink. He went, a pad, he went, a pad to blot, he heard, deaf Pat. Yes, Mr. Bloom said, teasing the curling gut vine. It certainly is. A few lines will do. My present. Oh, that Italian florid music is. Who is this wrote? Know the name. You know better. Take out the sheet, no paper, envelope, unconcerned. It's so characteristic. Oh, grandest number in the whole opera, Goulding said. It is, Bloom said. Numbers it is. All music, when you come to think, 2 multiplied by 2 divided by half is twice 1. Vibrations, chords they are. 1 plus 2 plus 6 is 7. Do anything you like with figures juggling. Always find out this equal to that. Symmetry under a symmetry wall. He doesn't see my morning. Callous, all for his own gut. Muse of mathematics. And you think you're listening to the ethereal. And you think, but suppose you said it like, Martha, 7 times 9, x is 35,000. Fall quite flat. It's on account of the sounds it is. Instance, he's playing now, improvising. Might be what you like till you hear the words. Want to listen sharp, hard, begin all right, then hear chords bit off, feel lost a bit. In and out of the sacks over barrels, through wire fences, obstacles race. Time makes the tune. Question of mood you're in. Still, always nice to hear. Except scales up and down, girls learning, 2 together, next door neighbours. Ought to invent dummy pianos for that. Bloomin' Lloyd I bought for her. The name. Playing it slow. A girl. Night I came home, the girl. Door of the stables near Cecilia Street. Millie, no taste. Queer, because we both. I mean, Bald deaf Pat brought quite flat pad ink. Pat set with ink pen quite flat pad. Pat took plate, dish, knife, fork. Pat went. It's the only language, Mr. Dedler said to Ben. He heard them as a boy in Ringabella, Crosshaven, Ringabella, singing their barcarolas. Queenstown harbour full of Italian ships, walking, you know, Ben, in the moonlight, with those earthquake hats, blending the voices. God, such music, Ben, heard as a boy. Cross, Ringabella, Haven, Mooncaroli. Sour pipe removed, he held a shield of hand beside his lips that cooed a moonlight night call, clear from a near, a call from afar replying. Down the edge of his Freeman baton ranged Bloom's your other eye, scanning for, where did I see that? Helen, Coleman, Dignam, Patrick, hey ho, plus, it was just as I was looking. Hope he's not looking, cute as a rat. He held, unfurled his Freeman. Can't see now. Remember, right? Greek ease. Bloom dipped. Dear sir, dear Henry wrote, dear Maddie. Gotcha, lad, and flat. How did I put some pocker off? It's utterly impossible, underline impossible, to write today. Or this. Board Bloom, tambourine gently with, I'm just reflecting fingers on flat, pad, pat, bolt, on. Know what I mean? No. Change that except my poor little pret in ask her, no answer. Hold on. Five, dig, two bell there, Penny the Gulls, Elijah's coming, 7 minutes. Davy Burns, he's 8, about, say, half a crown. My poor little press, PO 2 and 6. Write me along. Do you despise? Jingle, have you that? So excited. Why'd you call me naughty, you naughty too? Oh, Mary, last the pin of a. But bye for today. Yes, we'll tell you. 1, 2, to keep it up. Call me the other word she wrote. My patience are exhaust to keep it up. You must believe the tank. It is true. Folly, am I right? And husbands don't. That's marriage does their wives. Because I'm away from. Suppose, but how? She must keep young. She found out. Carding me, high grade. Ha! No, not tell all useless pain. If they don't see, women, sauce for the gander. A hackney car, number 324, driver Barton, James of number 1 Harmony Avenue, Donnybrook, on which sat a fair. A young gentleman stylishly dressed in an indigo blue serge suit, made by George Robert Messius, tailor and cutter of number 5 Eden Quay, and wearing a straw hat, very dressy, bought of John Plasto of number 1 Great Brunswick Street, hatter. Eh? This is the jingle that joggled and jingled. By Lugatch pork shop, bright tubes of Agandat trotted a gallant buttocked mare. Answering an ad? Keen Rich's eyes asked Bloom. Yes, Mr. Bloom said. A town traveller. Nothing doing, I expect. Bloom, best references, but Henry wrote. It will excite me, you know now, in haste. Henry, Greek E, Abitrag, postscript. What's he playing now? Improvising intermezzo. P.S. The rum tum tum. How will you you punish me? The crooked skirt swinging whack boy. Tell me I want to know, no, oh. Of course, if I didn't, I wouldn't ask. La 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 ray, trails off there in sad minor. Why minor sad? Sign H. They like sad. Tail at end. PPS. La 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 ray. I feel so sad today, la ray. So lonely. D. He blotted quick on pad of pat. Envelope, address, just copy out of paper. Murmured. Messrs. Cullen, Coleman and Co. Limited. Henry wrote. Miss Martha Clifford, care of Post office, Dolphins Barn Lane, Dublin. Blot over the other so he can't read. Right, idea, prize, titbit, something detective, red off blotting pad, payment at rate of guinea per col, Matchmuffin thinks the laughing witch, poor Mrs. Purify, U.P., up, up. Too poetical that, about sad, quotations every day in the year, to be or not to be, wisdom while you wait. In Gerard's rosary of Fetter Lane he walks, greyed auburn. One life is all, one body. Do, but do. Done anyhow. Postal order, stamp, post office lower down. Walk now, enough. Barney Kiernan's, I promised to meet them. Dislike that job. House of mourning. Walk. Pat? Doesn't hear. Deaf beetle he is. Car near there now. Talk, talk. Pat? Doesn't. Settling those napkins. The ground he must cover in the day. Paint face behind on him, well then he'd be two. Wish they'd sing more, keep me mind off. Bald Pat, who is bothered, mitered the napkins. Pat is a waiter hard of his hearing. Pat is a waiter who waits while you wait. He. He waits while you wait. He. A waiter is he. He. He waits while you wait. While you wait, if you wait, he will wait while you wait. He. Oh, wait while you wait. Deuce now. Deuce, Lydia, Bronze, and Rose. Oh, she had a gorgeous, simply gorgeous time. And look at the lovely shells she brought. To the end of the bar, to him, she bore lightly the spiked and winding sea horn, that he, George Lidwell, solicitor, might hear. Listen, she bade him. Under Tom Kernan's gin-hot words, the accompanist wove music slow. Authentic fact. How water bapped he lost his voice. Well, sir, the husband took him by the throat. Scoundrel, said he. You'll sing no more love songs. He did, Sir Tom. Bob Cowley woke. Tenants get whipped. Cowley lay back. Now he heard. She, holding it to his ear. Here. He heard. Oh, wonderful. She held it to her own, and through the sifted tight pale gold in contrast glided to hear. Tap. Bloom through the bar door, saw a shell held at their ears. He heard more faintly that they heard, each for herself alone, then each for the other, hearing the plash of waves loudly, a silent roar. Bronzed by weary gold, anear, afar, they listened. Her ear, too, is a shell. The peeping lobe there. Been to the seaside, lovely seaside girls. Skin tanned raw. Should have put on cold cream first, make it brown. Buttered toast. Oh, and that lotion I mustn't forget. Fever near her mouth. Your head, he'd simply swear. Hair braided over, shell with seaweed. Why do they hide their ears with seaweed hair? And Turks, their mouth? Why? Her eyes over the sheet. A yashmak. Find the way in. A cave. No admittance, except on business. The sea they think they hear. Singing. A roar. The blood it is. Souse in the ear sometimes. Well, it is a sea. Corpuscle Islands. Wonderful, really. So distinct. Again. George Lidwell held its murmur hearing, then laid it by gently. What are the wild waves saying? He asked her, smiled. Charming, sea-smiling and unanswering, Lydia on Lidwell smiled. Tap. By Larry O'Rourke's, by Larry, bold Larry O, Boylan swayed and Boylan turned. From the forsaken shell, Miss Minor glided to her tankard waiting. No, she was not so lonely. Archly Miss Ducey's head let Mr. Lidwell know. Walks in the moonlight by the sea. No, not alone. With whom? She nobly answered. With a gentleman friend. Bob Cowley's twinkling fingers in the treble played again. The landlord has the prior a little time, Long John Big Ben. Lightly he played a light, bright, tinkling measure for tripping ladies, arch and smiling, and for their gallants, gentlemen friends. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. Sea wind, leaves, thunder, waters, cows lowing, the cattle market, cocks, hens don't crow, snakes is hiss. And there's music everywhere. Rutledge's door, creaking. No, that's noise. Minuet at Aunt Giovanni he's playing now. Court dresses of all descriptions in castle chambers dancing. Misery, peasants outside, green starving faces eating dock leaves. Noise that is. Look, 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 you look at us. And it's joyful, I can feel. Never written it. Why? My joys are the joy, but both the joys. Yes, joy, it must be. Mere fact the music shows you. Often thought she was in the dumps till she began to lilt. Then no. Coy Valise, my wife and your wife. Squealing cat, like tearing silk. When she talks like the clapper of the bellows. They can manage men's intervals, gapping the voices too. Fill me, I'm warm, dark, open. Molly in Quis est homo mercadanti. My ear against the wall to hear. Want a woman who can deliver the goods. Jog, jig, jogged, stopped. Dandy tan shoe of dandy Boylan socks, sky blue clocks, came light to earth. Oh, look, we are so chamber music. Could make a kind of pun on that. 'Tis a kind of music, I often thought, when she acoustics, that is. Tinkling. Empty vessels make most noise. Because the acoustics, the resonance changes according as the weight of the water is equal to the lower of falling water. Like those rhapsodies of Liszt's, Hungarian, gypsyoid, pearls, drops, rain, a diddly laddle laddle oodle oodle. Now, maybe now, before. One rapped on a door, one tapped with a knock. Did he not? Pulled a cock with a loud, proud knocker with a cock. Carra, 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 cock, cock, cock. Tap. Qui stay no, Ben, said Father Curly. No, Ben, Tom Kernan interfered. The Croppy Boy, our native Doric. Oi, do, Ben, Mr. Dedler said. God, man, and throw. Do, they begged in one. I'll go. Here, Pat, returned. Come, he came. He did not stay. To me, how much? What key? 6 sharps. F sharp major, Ben Dollard said. Bob Cowley's outstretched talons gripped the black, deep-sounding chords. I must go, Prince Bloom told Richie. Prince, no. Oh, no, Richie said. Yes, must. I got money somewhere. He's on for a razzle backache spree. Much. He see here's lips speech. 1 and 9. A penny for yourself. Here, give him twopence. Tip. Deaf, bothered. But perhaps he has a wife and family waiting. Patty come home. He. Deaf, wait while he wait. But here, cold, dark, lugubrious, low in a cave of the dark Middle-earth, embedded or lump music. The voice of a dark age of unlove, earth's fatigue made grave approach, and painful came from afar, from hoary mountains, called on good men and true. The priest he sought, with him would he speak a word. Tap. Ben Dollard's voice, barrel tone, doing his level best to say it. Croak of vast manless, moonless, moonless marsh. Ought to come down. Big ships, chandler's business he did once. Remember, rosinny ropes, ship's lanterns, failed to the tune of £10,000. Now in the Ivy home, cubicle number so-and-so, number one bass did that for him. The priests at home, a false priest's servant, bade him welcome, step in. The Holy Father, curly cues of chords, ruined them, wrecked their lives, then build them cubicles to end their days in. Husher boy, lullaby, die dog, little dog, die. The voice of waning, solemn warning told them the youth had entered a lonely hall, told them how solemn fell his footsteps there, told them the gloomy chamber, the vested priest sitting to shrive. Decent soul, bit addled now, thinks he'll win Answer's poet's picture puzzle. We hand you crisp £5 note. Bird sitting hatching in a nest. Lay of the last minstrel he thought it was. C blank T, what domestic animal? T dash R, most courageous mariner. Good voice he has still. No unit yet with all his belongings. Listen. Bloom listened. Richie Goulding listened. And by the door, deaf Pat, bald Pat, tipped Pat listened. The chords harped slower. The voice of penance and of grief came slow, embellished, tremulous. Ben's contrite beard confessed. In nomine Domini. In God's name, he knelt. He beat his hand upon his breast, confessing, Mea culpa. Latin again, that holds him like birdlime. Priest with a communion corpus for those women, chap in the mortuary, coffin, coffee, corpse in hominy. Wonder, where's that rat by now? Scrape. Tap. They listened. Tankards and Miss Kennedy, George Lidwell, eyelid well expressive, full busted satin, Kernan sigh. The sighing voice of sorrows sang his sins. Since Easter he had cursed 3 times, you bitch's bastard. And once at mass time he had gone to play. Once by the churchyard he had passed, and for his mother's rest he had not prayed. A boy, a croppy boy. Bronze, listening by the beer pull, gazed far away, soulfully. Doesn't half know I'm Molly, great dab at seeing anyone looking. Bronze gazed far, sideways. Mirror there. Is that the best side of her face? They always know. Knock at the door. Last tip to titivate. Cop Gara Gara. What did they think when they hear music? Wait to catch rattlesnakes. Night Michael Gunn gave us the box. Tuning up. Shara Persia liked that best. Reminded home sweet home. Wiped his nose and curtain too, cost him his country perhaps. That's music too. Not as bad as it sounds, tootling. Brasses, braying asses, through up trunks, double basses, helpless, gashes in their sides, woodwinds, mooing cows. Semi-grand, open crocodile, music hath jaws. Woodwind, like Goodwin's name. She looked fine. Her crocus dress she wore low cut, belongings on show. Clover breath was always in the theatre when she bent to ask a question. Told her what Spinoza says in that book of poor Papa's. Hypnotised, listening. Eyes like that. She bent. Chap in dress circles staring down into her with his opera glasses for all he was worth. Beauty of music, you must hear twice. Nature, women, half a look. God made the country, man the tune. Met in pike hoses. Philosophy, oh, rocks. All gone, all fallen. At the siege of Ross, his father, at Gory, all his brothers fell. to Wexford. We are the boys at Wexford. He would, last of his name and race. I, too, last my race. Millie, young student. Well, I thought perhaps no son. Rudy, too late now. Or if not, if not, if still. He bore no hate. Hate, love, those are names. Rudy, soon I am old. Big Ben, his voice unfolded. Great voice, Richie Goulding said, a flush struggling in his pale to bloom, soon old, but when was young? Ireland comes now, my country above the king. She listens. Who fears to speak of 1904? Time to be shoving. Looked enough. Bless me, Father, Dollard the Croppy cried. Bless me and let me go. Tap. Bloom looked unblessed to go. Got up to kill. On 8 and Bob a week. Fellas shells out the dibs. Want to keep your weather eye open. Those girls, those lovely. By the sad sea waves. Chorus girls romance. Letters read out for breach of promise. From Chickabiddy's own Mumsy Pum. Laughter in court. Henry, I never signed it. The lovely name you. Low sank the music, air and words. Then hastened. The false priest rustling soldier from his cassock, a yeoman captain. They know it all by heart. The trill they itch for, yeoman cap. Tap, tap. Thrilled she listened, bending in sympathy to hear. Blank face. Virgin should say, or fingered only. Write something on it, page. If not, what becomes of them? Decline, despair. Keeps them young, even admire themselves. See, play on her. Lip, blow, body a white woman. A flute alive. Blow, gentle, loud. 3 holes, all women. Goddess, I didn't see. They want it. Not too much polite. That's why he gets 'em. Gold in your pocket, brass in your face. With look to look, songs without words. Molly, that hurdy-gurdy boy, she knew he meant the monkey was sick. Or because, so like the Spanish, understand animals too that way. Solomon did. Gift of nature. Ventriloquize. My lips closed. Think of my stop. What? Will, I want you to. With hoarse rude fury the yeoman cursed, swelling in apoplectic bitch's bastard. A good thought, boy, to come. 1 hour's your time to live, your last. Tap, tap. Trill now. Pity they feel. To wipe away a tear for martyrs. For all things dying, want to, dying to, die. For that, all things born. Pure Mrs. Purefoy. Hope she's over, because they're wombs. A liquid of womb of woman eyeball gazed under a fence of lashes, calmly hearing. See real beauty of the eye when she not speaks. On yonder river, at each slow satiny heaving bosom's wave, her heaving ombon. Red rose rose slowly sank, red rose. Heart beats her, breath, breath that is life. And all the tiny, tiny fern foils trembled of maiden hair. But look, the bright star fades. Oh, Rose, Castile, d'Amour, ha, Lidwell, for him then, not for infatuated. I like that. See her from here, though. Popped corks, splashes of beer froth, stacks of empties. On the smooth, jutting beer pool laid Lydia hand lightly, plumply. Leave it to my hands. Oh, lust in pity for Croppy, fro, to, fro, over the polished knob. She knows his eyes, my eyes, her thumb and finger passed in pity, passed, repassed, and gently touching, then slid so smoothly, slowly down a cool, firm, white enamel batten, protruding through their sliding ring. With a top, with a gara, tap, tap, tap. I hold this house. Amen. He gnashed in fury. Traitors swing. The chords consented. Oh, very sad thing, but had to be. Get out before the end. Thanks. Oh, that was heavenly. Where's me hat? Pass by her. I can leave that Freeman. Let her I have. I suppose she would. No. Walk, 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 like Casha Boilo O'Connor O'Collo. Tisdall Morris Tinstall Farrow. Walk. Well, I must be. Yeah. You must be by. Oh, right, Blue. Bloom stood up. Ow. So feeling rather sticky behind. I must have sweated. Music. That lotion, remember. Well, so long. High grade. Card inside. Yes. By Deaf Pat in the doorway, straining air Bloom past. At Geneva Barrack that young man died. At Passage was his body laid. Dolores, oh, he Dolores, the voice of the mournful chanter called to Dolores' prayer. By Rose, by satiny bosom, by the fondling hand, by slops, by empties, by popped corks, greeting in going, past eyes and maiden hair, bronze and faint gold in deep sea shadow, went Bloom, soft Bloom, I feel so lonely, Bloom. Tap, tap, tap. Pray for him, prayed the bass of Dollard. You who hear in peace, breathe a prayer, drop a tear, good men, good people, he was the Croppy Boy. Scouring, eavesdropping boots, Croppy Boots Boy Bloom in the almond hallway heard growls and roars of bravo, fat backslapping, their boots all treading, boots, not the boots, the boy. General chorus off for a swill to wash it down. Oh, glad I avoided. Come on, Ben, Simon Dedler said. Begad, you're good as ever you were. Oh, better, said Tom Gin Kerman. Most trenchant rendition of that ballad, upon me soul and honour it is. La Blash, said Father Cowley. Ben Dollard bulkily cuckooed toward the bar, mightily praise-fed, and all big Rose aped on heavy-footed feet, his gouty fingers knackering castanets in the air. Big Beneden Dollard, Big Ben Ben, Big Ben Ben. Rup. And deep moved all, Simon trumping compassion from Foghorn Nose, all laughing, they brought him forth Ben Dollard in right good cheer. Are you looking rubicund? George Lidwell said. Miss Douce composed her rose to wait. Ben Machree, said Mr. Dedalus, clapping Ben's fat back shoulder blade. Fit as a fiddle, only he has a lot of adipose tissue concealed about his person. Fat a death, Simon, Ben Dollard growled. Richie Rift in the lute alone sat, Galding Collis Ward. Uncertainly he waited, unpaid pat too. Tap, 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 tap. Miss Minor Kennedy brought near her lips to ear of tankard one. Mr. Dollard, they murmured low. Dollard, murmured Tankard. Tank one believed. Miss Ken, when she, that doll he was, she, doll, the tank. He murmured that he knew the name. The name was familiar to him, that was to say, he heard the name of Dollard. Was it Dollard? Yes. Yes, her lips said more loudly, Mr. Dollard. He sang that song lovely, murmured Minor. And the last rose of summer, oh, was a lovely song. Minor loved that song. Tankard loved the song that Minor. 'Tis the last rose of summer. Dollard left Bloom, felt wind wound round inside. Oh, gassy thing, that cider. Binding too. Wait, post office near Roman J's, 1 and 8pence. Get shut of it. Dodge round by Greek Street. Wish I hadn't promised to meet. Freer in air. Music gets on your nerves. Beer pull. Her hand that rocks the crowd, that rocks the rose, the Ben Hoth, that rose the world. Far, 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 far. Tap, 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 tap. Up the quay went Leonore Leopold, naughty Henry, with letter for Maddie, with sweets of sin, with frillies for Raoul, with Metin pike hoses went Poldy on. Tap blind walked, tapping by the tap, the curbstone, tapping tap by tap. Cowley, he stunts himself with it. Kinda drunkenness. Better give way, only halfway, the way of a man with a maid. Instance, enthusiasts, all ears, not lose a demi-semi-quaver, eyes shut. Here, nodding head, nodding in time. Dotty, you daren't budge. Thinking strictly prohibited, always talking shop. Fiddle-faddle about notes. All a kind of attempt to talk. Unpleasant when it stops, because you never know exact. Organ in Garden Street. Oh, Glen, 50 quid a year. Queer up there in the cot loft alone with stops and locks and keys, seated all day at the organ. Maunder on for hours, talking to himself or the other fella blowing the bellows. Growl angry, then shriek cursing. Want to have wadding or something in his. No, 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 don't, she cried. Then all of a sudden, wee little pipey wind. Wee, a wee little wind piped in Bloom's little wee. Was he? Mr. Dedalus said, returning with fetched pipe. I was with him this morning at poor little Paddy Dignam's. Aye, the Lord have mercy on him. By the boy, there's a tuning fork in there on the tap, 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 tap. The wife has a fine voice, or had. What? Lidwell asked. Oh, that must be the tuner, Lydia said to Simon Lionel. First I saw. I forgot it when he was here. Blind he was, she told George Lidwell. Second I saw, and played so exquisitely. Treat to hear. Exquisite contrast. Bronze lid, minor gold. Shout! Ben Dollard shouted, pouring. Sing out! "'Ill do," cried Father Cowley. I feel I want. Tap, 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 tap. Very, Mr. Dedalus said, staring hard at a headless sardine. Under that sandwich Bell lay on a bier of bread, one lonely, last sardine of summer. Bloom alone. Very, he stared. The lower register for choice. Tap, 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 tap. Bloom went by Barry's. Oh, wish I could wait. That wonder work. If I had 24 solicitors in that one house, litigation, love one another, piles of parchment, Pess's pick and pocket of power of attorney, Gordon Collis ward. But, for example, the chap that wallops the big drum, his vocation, Mickey Rooney's band. Wonder how it first struck him, sitting at home after pig's cheek and cabbage, nursing it in the armchair, rehearsing his band part, poverty, jolly for the wife, asses' skins, welt them through life, then wallop after death, wallop, seems to be what you call yashmak, kismet, fate. Tap, tap, a stripling, blind, with a tapping cane, tap, tap, tapping by Daly's window, where a mermaid, hair all streaming, but he couldn't see. Blue whiffs of a mermaid, blind, couldn't. Mermaid, coolest whiff of all. Instruments, a blade of grass, shell of her hands, then blow. Even comb and tissue paper you could knock a tune out of. Molly in her shift in Lombard Street West, hair down. I suppose each kind of trade made its own, don't you see? Hunter with a horn. Oh, Have you the cloche sonné la? Shepherd his pipe, policeman a whistle, locks and keys, sweep. 4 o'clock, all's well, sleep, all is lost now. Drum, poverty. Wait, I know, a town crier, bum bailiff, Long John, waken the dead, Pom, Dignam, what little nominee dominy, Pom. 'Tis music. I mean, of course it's all pom pom pom, very much what they call da capo. Still, you can hear. As march along, pom. Oh, I must really. Now, if I did that at a banquet, just a question of custom, share a Persia. Breathe a prayer, drop a tear. All the same, he must have been a bit of a natural not to see it was a yeoman cap, muffled up. Wonder, who was that chap at the grave in the brown mackie? Oh, the whore of the lane. A frowsy whore with black straw sailor hat askew came glazily in the day along the quay towards Mr. Bloom. When first he saw that form endearing, yes, 'tis. I feel so lonely. Wet night in the lane. Horn, who had the hee-haw seashore off a beat. Here, what is she? Hope she. Psst. Any chance you wash? New Molly. I'd be decked. Stout lady. That stout lady just be with you in the brown costume. Put you off your stroke. That appointment we made, knowing we'd never, well, hardly ever. Too dear, too near to home, sweet home. Sees me, does she? Oh, looks a fright in the day. Face like dip. Damn. Oh, well, she has to live like the rest. Look in here. In Lionel Mark's antique sale shop window, haughty Henry, Lion, Lionel, Leopold, dear Henry, flower, earnestly, Mr. Leopold Bloom envisaged candlestick, melodeon, oozing maggoty blowbacks. Bargain, 6 bob. Might learn to play. Cheap. Let her pass. Course, everything is dear if you don't want it. That's what good salesman is. Makes you buy what he wants to sell. Chap sold me the Swedish razor he shaped me with. Want to charge me for the edge he gave it. She's passing now. 6 bob. Must be the cider, or perhaps the Burgund. Near bronze from a near gold from afar, they chinked their chinking glasses all, bright-eyed and gallant, before bronze Lydia's tempting last rose of summer, rose of Castile. First Lyd, de, cow, cur, doll, a fifth Lidwell, Cy Dedalus, Bob Cowley, Kernan, and Big Ben Dollard. Tap. A youth entered a lonely Ormond hall. Bloom viewed a gallant pictured hero in Lionel Mark's window. Robert Emmett's last words. 7 last words. A Meyerbeer, that is. True men, like you men. Aye, aye, Ben. We'll lift your glass with us. They lifted. Chink, chink, tip. An unseeing stripling stood in the door. He saw not bronze, he saw not gold, nor Ben, nor Bob, nor Tom, nor Cy, nor George, nor Tanks, nor Richie, nor Pat. He did not see. Sea Bloom, Grease Sea Bloom, viewed last words softly. When my country takes her place among must be the bear. Oh, nations of the earth, no one behind. She's past. Then, and not till then. Tramp, crank, crank, crank. Good opportunity coming. I'm sure it's the Burgund. Yes, 1, 2. Let my epitaph be written. I have done. Okay, end of the Sirens episode, the episode in which the fated hour of 4 o'clock appeared, and yet Blazes Boylan was still there in the bar at that 4 o'clock. Was he going? Was he not going? He went off somewhere. There was a lot of knocking on the door. We're not quite sure what was going on. I suspect we'll find out, but for now, it's mere conjecture. We had the singing of that emotional Republican nationalist ballad, The Croppy Boy. We also wondered just who were the Sirens? What was the Sirens? So lots to ponder, all of which will be pondered in the analysis video. So do join me then. Meanwhile, this is Russell Raphael from North London, Ulysses, wishing you well. Until next time, bye-bye.